Welcome to OKState Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Boy, it was not an easy game in Houston, no doubt about it. It didn't start out good, but it finished just right, exactly where the Cowboys need to be. It looked bleak for a while until Trey Rucker stepped in front of a Donovan Smith pass. I was pretty worried, to be honest with you. I thought the Cowboys would come out last weekend. I said it in our podcast last week with Chase Witwiska. I thought OSU would come out and just play great, play gangbusters from the start. They did not. It was dire until Trey Rucker made the interception. Oklahoma State went down and scored a touchdown, then got a field goal right before half. Hey, going into halftime, you're losing the game, but you're thinking, boy, this could have been a lot worse. So you're actually kind of feeling good about yourself. Then you came out. You knew the game plan the second half was going to be to shut down the Houston running game and then get pressure on Donovan Smith, something the Cowboys did in the second half, and then feed the ball to Ollie Gordon. Obviously, the Cowboys did that as well. Ollie Gordon, over 160 yards on the day. I thought this was, another week for Coach Nardo on the defensive side of the ball, that he was just masterful in solving the puzzle. Just every single week with this Oklahoma State defense, Coach Nardo, hey, it's never perfect, obviously. The Oklahoma State Cowboys gave up a lot of yards. They gave up points early in this game, and it looked like for a while, OSU was never going to stop Houston. But as Coach Nardo has done just about every week this year, except for maybe the UCF game, South Alabama game, some of the worst games for OSU, it just seems like as this defense goes on, he gets it figured out. He makes the right adjustments. Not only the adjustments that he figures that the defense needs to make, the adjustments that he knows that he actually can make and get these kids to perform and execute. I think he's a master at that. Love Coach Nardo. I thought he did a great job as this game went on. And also, I thought this is one of Casey Dunn's better games. Hey, the blueprint was out there. UCF put the blueprint out there. Stuff the box and make OSU throw the football to beat you. And that was definitely their game plan. So he came out early, got Brennan Presley involved, threw a touchdown pass to Jaden Bray, threw a couple to Rashad Owens, threw a couple to Leon Johnson. So really threw the ball to open up the run. And then once you did that in the third quarter, fed the ball to Ollie Gordon, then did a great job towards the end of the game transitioning back to, he threw the big ball to Rashad Owens to seal the game, threw a couple to Presley, threw one to Leon Johnson. So I thought he did a great job of opening the run game with the pass game and then running the ball whenever OSU had it ripe to do so, and then finished the game being aggressive, throwing the ball when he needed to, and finishing the game with OSU's offense. I thought, like I said, that was just a great job by Casey Dunn. He has really grown into understanding what makes this team good on offense, and more importantly, understanding the style of offense this team needs to play to actually win games. A lot of times you can score points, but you're doing so in a way that's jeopardizing your defense. And just because you're scoring, it doesn't always translate to, making it to where it's making it easier to win the game. I just feel like he has grown into understanding the identity of this team and knowing how to call offense in terms of how overall for the entirety of the team it helps them win games. So, hey, I have rambled on long enough. You don't want to hear me talk anymore. So let's not waste more time. Let's get right to it, and let's talk Cowboy football. So Oklahoma State got the ball first, and I mentioned, on several of the podcasts earlier that I like it when OSU gets the ball first because I think this team needs to get the lead. As we back this up, Casey Dunn, I mentioned the open, did a great job of understanding, hey, the blueprint's out there. Look at this, okay? 3 linemen and 1, 2, 3 linebackers, and then watch a 4th come into the box here as we play this. So by the time the ball is snapped, you're talking about a 7-man box with 5 linemen and 1 H-back. So, hey, obviously right here, Houston has the numbers. They are 7-6. So this just tells you, if you're Casey Dunn, if you're Alan Bowman, you simply have to throw the ball. That's what OSU did, and they did it to Presley, Brennan Presley, who had a career day, 15 catches. So I really thought this was just a great job early on, getting Presley some easy slant throws, some sticks, some hitches, and just try to, open up that run game as Oklahoma State did as the game went on by, throwing the ball in the short passing game early because, like I said, you had to make Houston pay for stacking the box. This is a possession that started out very promising, and then you had this right here. On 2nd down and 10, you try to throw another one of those screens, and just a great play by the Houston defense. Now it's 3rd and 12. A really good play. Hey, screen or draw. Just give Houston credit. they did a good job diagnosing, exactly what Oklahoma State was going to run on that screenplay to Bowman. As you look at this screenplay right here you have, trips to this side to the basically to the boundary side, and it looks like you have numbers here. So if you're Alan Bowman, you're reading 3 receivers right here. This linebacker's going back in the box. So you're reading 3-on-2 right here, okay? So that looks like a situation that should be favorable for Oklahoma State. And honestly, if you look at this right here, if Presley catches this ball, slips inside, he actually might go, maybe 20, 25 yards. This safety's probably going to have an angle on it. But just simply put, he went to the outside. So I think if you have to do this again, you evaluate film. I think if Presley comes in, you have this block angled right here. So I think if he catches the ball and slips in here, it's probably a 10-yard gain, at least a first down right there. See, if he just comes inside, he probably outruns that linebacker, and it's a good play. But Presley just simply put, okay, you're kicking the guy out, and then he ran outside, and that's why the play didn't work. And instead of maybe being another first down, now it's 3rd down and 12. And right here, as you see, Houston, when you're 3rd down and 12, this is what's going to happen. They have 4-man rushing. They have 7 men dropping. So they have 7-on-4 right here. So if you're Alan Bowman, who do you throw it to? Okay, right there, there's nobody open. So what you do is you try to just dump it off to Ollie Gordon because it's 7-on-4. So you got to figure, okay, watch this linebacker here. He's going to drop. So Alan Bowman's he's looking over here at first, but then this linebacker drops right here. So you're thinking, hey, man, if you can get Ollie Gordon out here into this space right here, he's got something going. He may not get all the way to the sticks, but he might if he makes a guy or two miss. But simply put, in my opinion, Ollie Gordon needs to be positioned out here and not right here inside the box. You see 2 puller, actually 3 offensive linemen in the convoy ahead. I think if he's positioned about right here, he probably catches the ball, gets upfield. You have a chance to block this guy right here. You might get the first down. How it was, I don't think the spacing was very good, and the Oklahoma State Cowboys had to punt. So the Cowboys get a good punt. They pin Houston down deep to their own 13-yard line. First play, Dana Holgerson likes to get Donovan Smith going in the running game. That gives him a lot of confidence, and that kind of gets him going, if you will. It gets his pads popped and gets him going in the game. Hey, this is just great run defense. Look at this defensive line here. Watch how they fit this run game. Okay, look right there. So this is called canceling gaps. This gap right here, canceled. Look at this gap right here, canceled. That gap, canceled. So as you go all the way across the board, every gap is canceled. So if you're the running back and you see all these gaps canceled, you have to bounce it. That's when Xavier Benson, watch him play perfect leverage. See how Xavier Benson is just, the reason why he's not attacking the running back right now is that he knows because this defensive line has canceled all their gaps, this running back has to spill it outside. And so now he has outside contained and outside leverage. So he has to just kind of wait there and wait for the back to bounce it so he can play outside leverage, because then he also knows he's going to get inside leverage from the safety. So watch how the Cowboys, boy, that is just absolutely clinic, textbook defense as far as stopping the run game. Simply fantastic. He forced a 3rd and long. Got to get off the field here. Another penalty flag, very easy call. Just tug the shoulder right here. Again, just a simple crossing route. Nothing complicated. I like the fact that Coach Nardo is bringing pressure early in the game, though. That's how you beat Donovan Smith, because he will make mistakes. But you got to be a little bit worried at this point that, hey, you remember last week, I should say, it felt like UCF, the reason why they won is because Oklahoma State could not match up with the receivers. While Houston has won a couple of early matchups in one-on-one situations, their receiver and our secondary, so that's a little bit concerning. And then you have a big long run here, but watch what happens. Okay, I'm going to show you this, and I'm going to stop it here in a second whenever this play starts. Okay, here's Xavier Benson. Watch, he's going to fire on a dog stunt right here, right up the middle, and then as he hits the hole, see how he's getting held right there? Okay, so mention that I like the fact that Coach Nardo is bringing pressure. Coach Nardo with the pressure and the way Xavier Benson fit that dog stunt right there. He got that holding call, and so he turned it into 2nd and 20. So, hey, yeah, you win some, you lose some when you bring pressure, but I like the fact that, like I said, it's a Houston team that is fragile on confidence. Try to make some big plays early in the game. It didn't work out for you on the 3rd and long, but you did get the holding call there, and there's just a quarterback counter play. I love the quarterback counter. We call that Gator. Watch the guard and tackle pull from the top here. Okay, they're going to pull back here. The running back's going to go over there, and then you're going to make everybody go one way. Okay, so Here, actually, the running back's going to lead on this counter, so you're going to have guard, tackle, and running back right there leading up in the hole. Nick Martin gets pinned inside, and by the time he does that, Colin Oliver gets kicked. By the time he does that, that is just, a lot of room for Donovan Smith to run on. Boy, got lucky right there, Anthony Goodlow, almost. So right here, see the guard and tackle pull, then you see the kick right there and Colin Oliver with the guard, and then the running back's able to chip Nick Martin just enough to pin him inside. Donovan Smith is out the gate and down the field for a good gain. So Houston is on the march. They are in Oklahoma State's territory. Here's a little slant to the left, and because of that, Donovan Smith is going to read that. He's going to keep the ball on that zone read and get about 3 or 4 yards. And this was a huge play. This was a huge play by Cam Smith right here. Textbook. Turn the head around, swat the ball down, man coverage. That's how Oklahoma State plays defense. You stop the run, you play sticky defense on the back end, of which Cam Smith did. I'm going to back that up. So I want to show you, okay, Cam Smith, see how right here, watch how he turns his head, find the ball. So he found the ball right there. Now once you find the ball, go ahead and swat it down. Swat. Okay, right there. Textbook. Oklahoma State gets the ball back. So everything's actually rocking along pretty good here. Oklahoma State had a pretty good first possession. They were aggressive on defense. You got them some things established against the run game against Houston. Hey, Cam Smith made the nice play to get you the ball back. Now you have the ball. You have good field position. Trying to take that early lead like I talk about. That is so important. Good early play to Brennan Presley. I like the idea. Give Houston credit for shutting it down. And then Bowman throws it away. And this is just a great play here. This is the play that separates quarterbacks. This is the one NFL scouts want to see. Far hash to the far sideline, and just watch how easy Alan Bowman makes this look. And I know Chase mentioned in our podcast last week he was disappointed in our offense because it didn't use as much motion to get guys open. Okay, so right here, Brennan Presley's in motion, and what that's going to do, because this guy's in man coverage, you see this guy, he's in motion, and Brennan Presley, he's actually in man coverage, I should say, on Brennan Presley. And because of this motion right here, Presley's going to actually use this as a little rub with Leon Johnson, and it's going to keep that defender from being able to get over the top. And as a matter of fact, because of that, they try to switch off on Brennan Presley, and Brennan Presley is able to come back to that football and make a great play on it. Give the Cowboys a first down. So like I said, everything right here, that's actually a good job by Houston of passing that off, almost like hedging on a pick and roll and switching that off, and then this happens. And this, no doubt, anytime you have a pick six, that's on your quarterback. But this is a scat concept. And actually, in a lot of ways, Dana Holgerson, I actually got a chance to sit and talk, and not talk, but listen to him talk in a clinic. And he said, hey, run scat, this concept scat, in every which way you can. So scat means you're going to threaten the flat, and then you're also going, so this quarterback, as you do that, you're going to read this linebacker. If the linebacker covers, receivers, then you go out and then you pass it on the flats. If the linebacker decides to go on the flats, then you hit the replacement route, which is going to be right here. So as you look at these linebackers right now, let's look at these two linebackers, this one right here and that one right there. That's who you're reading as a quarterback. So if these linebackers go chase, that back out is usually a linebacker cover. If they cover the running back, then you're going to hit a replacement route right there where they vacated from. So this linebacker is actually going to blitz. This one is going to back into pass coverage. Let me show you this. See how this one's blitzing? That one's backing into pass coverage. So if you're Alan Bowman right here, you're reading two linebackers that are both, one bailing, one blitzing, which tells you there is going to be nobody on Ollie Gordon. Okay, absolutely nobody. But give Houston credit. They switched things up. They were not man-to-man coverage. They sat in a cover two, which means this corner was squatted down. The corner had his eyes on Alan Bowman, and because he did, he just read that pass, and that is a pick six. Again, yes, it's Alan Bowman's fault. He's the one who threw it, but he did make the correct read. It would be almost impossible. Let me back that up. As a quarterback, it's not impossible, but it would be very difficult to read both of these linebackers. Okay, so let me fast forward that and back this up so I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. It would be a very difficult deal for Alan Bowman to read both of these linebackers right here as they bail, and then also come off of them and read the corner. Yes, like I said, pick six, not good, but that would be a very difficult thing to do. Hey, sometimes just give Houston credit. They had a tremendously schemed defense for the play we ran, and because of that, they took the lead. So, yes, the pick six, not good, but still, you've established some pretty good offense. You've established Brennan Presley. You've established the fact that Alan Bowman, other than the one interception, has made a couple of good passes. You feel like you can move the ball in Houston. The defense has a beat on the run game. Ollie Gordon getting the game, getting a good gain here on that split zone play. There's a counter play for Ollie Gordon getting outside. Watch this guard and tackle pull as I back that up. Really good job. Oklahoma State did a great job and have done a great job almost all year on this guard and tackle play. And hey, it's coming. It's one thing. Look right here as Josiah Johnson. I believe that is Cole Birmingham, or that's actually Preston Wilson. Right there. Look at that block right there. Preston Wilson and then Josiah Johnson. Boom and boom. And there's Leon Johnson blocking. And because of that, Ollie Gordon out the back door. So although you did throw the pick six right now, you feel okay about things. Hey, let's just settle down. There's that mesh route again. And then that throw back to Ollie Gordon. See, this is a just beautiful offense. So you're going to throw that little mesh, watch inside, the little small cross, from Presley. See how they cross each other right there? Because of that, this linebacker has to stay home. This linebacker bailed. Remember me telling you that if that linebacker bails and you throw it to the running back, okay, Alan Bowman, eyes in the same spot again. And so, hey, you don't have anybody covering that guy. You don't have that squatted corner again. So throw it to Ollie Gordon for good yardage. So you kind of feel good about the way the offense is running right now. And then right there, this is, we're going to watch this and we're going to slow it down. Okay, this is as much, I think, Brennan Presley as it is Alan Bowman. Watch here. Okay, so coming out of the break, I think if Brennan Presley, I think Alan Bowman expected him right there to be full speed. But if you watch, I'm going to back that up. Watch how whenever he turns his brake right there, he kind of throttles down just enough. And because he throttles down, I think Alan Bowman led him. But otherwise, that was going to be a touchdown. Here's another great play, a good throw. Hey, that's one of those as a receiver. You just know you're going to get, hit. You might as well catch it. So what a great job for Brennan Presley. Hey, he was moving the sticks, getting ahead, OSU ahead of the chains, making big plays. And then here's Jaden Nixon. To be honest with you, Jaden, I know you don't play very much, and you're in the pistol the I formation, so you're just trying to make something happen. But, hey, just lower your head, get back to line of scrimmage, make it 2nd down and 10. Instead, it's a big loss. Now it's 2nd and 14. But there's Ollie Gordon for a nice run for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. So again, you've had some things go wrong for you, but you still feel like you're establishing a good momentum to your offense here. Is that tackle or that guard and H-back pull, that's called ghost. For G and H, there is Preston Wilson again. There is Braden Cassidy on that counter play. And then right here, look at this great block right there to spring Ollie Gordon for good yardage. Now you're in position to where now you have a chance to get it on 3rd down. You'd have a decision if you don't get it. Do you kick the field goal? Do you go for it on 4th down? So Ollie Gordon's starting to get going. Alan Bowman, other than the pick six, has spread the ball around a little bit. He's actually thrown the ball pretty well other than that one play. And then right here, just a good job by Houston of getting this play shut down, and Oklahoma State has to settle for the 3 points from Alex Hale. Now the score 7-3, 3:34 to go, first quarter. So at this point, it's very frustrating because you feel like you've done a lot of good things, but because of 2 mistakes, you find yourself down 14-3. And then this. Now you start feeling like, then you have a penalty. You're like, oh man, is this going to be another UCF? 2nd and 21, you kind of feel like this is just a, hey, let's get out of jail here and punt and see what happens. And then this happens. You have a swing out. You end up not getting the 1st down and then taunting right here. They actually didn't call it on that linebacker. They called it on 29 who came over right there. That 29 right there is where they called this penalty on. This was an absolutely gigantic play because then you're able to hit Presley on that slant off of the zone look and go down and kick a field goal off of this. Otherwise, it was going to be 14-3. Houston was going to get the ball somewhere around midfield, but instead, now see, you're doing a lot of really good things right now. So if you're Coach Gundy, if you're Coach Dunn, I don't necessarily like the fact that we're running reverse here because you just established your run game in the last possession. You've hit your receivers that have been open. Bowman, other than the one, see right here, just do this. You don't have to run a reverse. Just throw it to your receivers, run Ollie, and just run your offense. You've had success when you've done that. You don't need a reverse. Okay, now see, I don't like this either. Ollie did a great job. Okay, I like Ollie coming downhill. This is exactly why Oklahoma State went to the pistol. It's why they went to the gap scheme. Now let's watch Ollie right here going sideways. See how Ollie's going sideways? on that zone play. This is what OSU is running in the first 3 games of the season, and this is why they weren't able to run the ball as well. See, when Ollie's going sideways like that, he's not as good of a back. He likes to get downhill and either read the play right here. This is where he likes the pistol, where either he gets downhill and hits the hole or makes that one cut back and hits the backside. That's the type of back he is. So I don't like that zone play from the side slot. And so here, Jaden Bray, hey, Oklahoma State, it's no secret that teams are going to stack the box. Let's back this up. There goes Ollie Gordon again. Teams are going to stack the box. Okay, right here we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. Okay, teams are going to stack the box against Oklahoma State, and they're going to play man coverage on the outside. And because of that, hey, you didn't have Jaden Bray, totally healthy against UCF. When teams do this, you have got to be able to throw the ball to your receivers on the outside in one-on-one coverage, and they have to win those 50-50 balls, and they have to win that one-on-one coverage. Exactly what Jaden Bray did here. And what Jaden Bray did that was so great, instead of continuing just kind of that loop to the sideline, he's still just at the numbers right now. Now, why is that important? Because if you're just at the numbers, look at all that space between the numbers and the out of bounds that he gave Alan Bowman to drop that dime. And Alan Bowman used that space to throw a great pass. Touchdown, Cowboys now. Hey, they missed the extra point, 14-9, as the Cowboys climb back. At this point, I am not worried in any way, shape, or form. Hey, Oklahoma State's fitting the run. I feel like Oklahoma State's secondary is going to get adjusted to Houston's. The receivers, I feel like Oklahoma State, Coach Nardo, he's being aggressive. They are going to eventually get to Donovan Smith and cause some mistakes from him. I felt like offensively, Oklahoma State had opened up some things in the run game. Alan Bowman was able to find open. I just felt like Oklahoma State was in a good spot right here. They just climbed back. You had the pick 6 early. You recovered from that. It's just 14-9. And so from Houston's perspective, I think they probably felt that too. Jenkins, this was a good run for him. So I think they probably felt like, hey, Oklahoma State, they got the momentum back. We don't want them to take control of this game. If it's going to be a blowout, it's probably going to be on OSU's side. So you throw this right back to Donovan Smith, and Houston regains momentum. With a trick play, we see this all the time. Mike Gundy used to catch this ball when he was the quarterback at OSU. So as you do this, okay, you hand the ball to Manjack that he's actually lined up in the backfield. So look at everybody right here. Xavier Benson, you have Kendall Daniels, and then Nick Martin's actually chasing it from behind. Nobody is accounted for the quarterback at all. Not one single person in that defense has accountability for the quarterback. Usually it would be like a backside 9 tech in the run game, but this is just a great call. So Colin Oliver usually, okay, he would have the quarterback right there. See him right there? That's who would be accountable for the quarterback in the run game. But whenever he's slipping out for a pass, that's not something you really rep. So who actually would have him? Okay, that would probably be a backside safety. But as you look at the way that Houston formation this, okay, here's your backside safety right here. They have a single receiver to the top. Now watch this receiver just come across on that kind of just a crossing pattern. And all he's doing right here, he's just trying to clear everybody out. So watch that receiver. See how he clears both the corner and the safety? Once he does that, it is Katie bar the door. Houston scores on the trick play. They get momentum back. It's 21-9. So Houston had the trick play to take the 21-9 lead, and then Oklahoma State had a very unimpressive 3-and-out. And this was really where I just started. This is where I really got worried. I was like, hey, you know what? You've done some good things. You're the better team. I think you've established the fact that if just everything goes the way it's supposed to, you have the better team. But, it hasn't done that to this point. And you're thinking, if Oklahoma State goes down 28-9, not exactly sure you have the type of offense that could come back from that type of deficit, because, that pretty much takes Ollie Gordon out of the equation. We saw last week just how fast that can go downhill for Oklahoma State whenever you get down, as much as Oklahoma State got down to UCF. So this was a huge part of the game. This is the part of the game where I really got worried. Good play by Cody Walter's side. You force a punt, and then this. And it turns to 23-9, and you're thinking, oh my, guys, you had a chance. All you had to do was, win 2 out of the 3 probably against the newcomers in the league to qualify for the Big 12 championship. You went to UCF, didn't play well. Now we're doing this again. We're down 2 scores. And then Trey Rucker. How about that? Trey Rucker, remember he gave up the big long pass early in the game, makes up for that, and no doubt about it, this was a turning point in the game. Without this play, I'm not exactly sure if Oklahoma State wins. Hey, as I evaluate this play, I'd like to say there was something that, hey, Coach Nardo just out-schemed this or Oklahoma State out-schemed that. I would like to say all that, but to be honest with you right here you see Trey Rucker. He actually passes this receiver off. I guess the only thing Donovan Smith could see here was that he thought, as we see Trey Rucker playing, is that as Rucker, see how Rucker steps inside to take this slant, and Donovan Smith right now is looking, it looks to me like he's looking at Trey Rucker. Okay, so right here, see how he turned his head? Okay, so let me back that up just a touch. Look at Donovan Smith right here. See how he's looking at Trey Rucker? Now watch Donovan Smith turn his head. Now when Donovan Smith turns his head, that's right when Trey Rucker undercuts this throw. But even having said that, okay, even if Trey Rucker didn't do that and there was nobody there, that's going to be a pass that probably lands right here at the sticks and is probably 4 to 5 yards too short. So I'd like to, hey, you know how much I like to give Coach Nardo credit? I love Trey Rucker. I'd like to give everybody credit for saying how you just out-schemed the other team, this and that. This just simply put, I don't know any other way to get around the fact that this was just a bad play by Donovan Smith and one that the Oklahoma State Cowboys needed desperately. So Oklahoma State got the interception, and then now, boy, you really got to make this pay off. Hey, you're down 14 points. A field goal, yes, okay, great, but you gotta get 7 points here. And hey, for anybody who why was Ollie Gordon not named the starting running back at the beginning of the year? Well, because this is the type of running game that you had early in the year. Side saddle here for Ollie Gordon. Watch him going sideways right here, and watch how much less effective. See how he's moving sideways at this point? Watch how much less effective he is in that side saddle, outside zone, inside zone type of game. Mentioned he is a downhill gap scheme type of runner. You could see it right there. So it's now second down and long, and you really need to play. Mentioned earlier with Jaden Bray. Okay, hey, the other team's going to stack the box. They're going to stop their running game. As a matter of fact, as I back this up, what Casey Dunn is thinking right here. You're thinking, hey, if a team's going to stack the box up the middle, then let's run it sideways and let's see if we can get outside of all the congestion. But that's just a good job of Houston flowing with the football play and canceling gaps up front and then fitting it from the second level there with their linebackers and safeties. So now you figure, okay, Houston, look at them cancel gaps here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys, all canceling gaps up front. You cannot run the ball against that. Casey Dunn knows that. We mentioned earlier that, hey, if the other team's going to stack the box like that, you've got to have receivers on the outside that can win one-on-one matchups. That's exactly what LJ3 does right here. Leon Johnson, go up, catch the ball, young man. Yes, sir, one-on-one coverage. The Cowboys, they could not settle for 3. Leon Johnson, there's Allen, the bow man, with the perfect throw to LJ3. Cowboys back in it, down just 1 score. Oklahoma State got the break they needed with the interception from Trey Rucker. They took advantage of that. They got the fade pass to LJ3 for the touchdown, down now just 1 score, 23-17. You can see the energy. Watch Colin Oliver rush. Watch, man, we're right there. Just keep Donovan Smith in the pocket. When you do that, he gets happy feet. That's when he goes to start making mistakes. 3rd down and 18, and now Houston has to punt. And boy, this was too bad because you had a punt that got you down, or a punt return that got you down to the 22. You might have had a chance to score a touchdown, but instead, you still have pretty good position. Brennan Presley comes up with a huge catch. That gets you in field goal position. So now you're thinking, hey, you'd like to have the touchdown to tie the game up, but hey, let's get some kind of points here. And I didn't like the fact that Oklahoma State didn't use a timeout. They, because there was a defensive injury, and then they thought they could just line up on the ball right there and just get the play off, because the clock stopped with the defensive injury. But they went to the half with an extra timeout. When if they would have used it, they would have saved themselves 2, probably 3 seconds. And right here, instead of it being 4 seconds left, I think the Cowboys would have had at least 6 seconds, would have given them 1 chance to go to the end zone. So I did not like that time management, but how it was, Oklahoma State, I'm going to play that again. How it was, Oklahoma State had a ton of momentum going into the locker room, scored 10 points in the last 2 minutes and 26 seconds to bring themselves back to within 23-19 at half. One of the biggest aspects of the way the first half ended, other than the fact you you're just kind of dead on your heels and, you're reeling off of last week and you just needed something to change. One of the biggest factors was you were facing the fact that Houston was going to get the ball to start the second half. So if you went down 2 scores into the halftime locker room and then Houston got the ball first, you're going to be worried about that. Okay, so the game plan for Oklahoma State, stop the run game, no doubt, and then get pressure on Donovan Smith. How about that? That is a Latu Colin Oliver sandwich for Donovan Smith. Oklahoma State, hey, they have scored 10 points in a row. They come out of the halftime locker room. They did a great job getting pressure on Donovan Smith. They get the ball back, and then, oh boy, they say right here that Brennan Presley actually stepped out of bounds. Oklahoma State, they are squarely on the offensive right now. I'm texting all my buddies right now, hey, get the lead, get pressure on Donovan Smith, stop the run game, and then feed Ollie after you get the lead. That's exactly what Oklahoma State did. This is that play earlier. Watch Brennan Presley where he just keeps churning, gets the first down. If you remember early that first possession of the game when he cut it outside, I mentioned that if he actually came back inside, he probably would have got the first down. Well, watch, Oklahoma State makes that adjustment. This time Presley, instead of going, cutting it back outside, he comes back inside, and he's able to churn his feet right there. Great job by the offensive lineman getting downfield and helping him get the first down, a first down that Oklahoma State needed. So OSU now in the diamond on the drive, down just 4. And, now why do you run this diamond? Here is another fade. Rashad Owens almost caught that. So why do you run the diamond here? Well, OSU is great at this. They like to do this at about the 12-yard line. So you run the diamond here because that gives you exactly man coverage, especially on the outside. So what you do here, see now they're bracketing Leon Johnson because he caught the last touchdown pass. So Alan Bowman, he just figures out which guy does not have a bracket behind him and is in man coverage to throw the fade to. He figures that's Rashad Owens here because there's not a safety behind him. So just lob it up. He throws a moon ball here and let Rashad Owens, who has the size advantage, try to win a jump ball. And Rashad Owens almost couldn't quite bring it down. So here's a 3rd down and 10. You have a lot of momentum. This was a huge play. A huge play. Hey, you've got to figure out at some point in the game a position in this game to take the lead. So then you can start feeding the ball to Ollie Gordon and take control of the game. This is why I love Alan Bowman so much. This is an NFL throw. Remember earlier I talked about how Oklahoma State used that motion to make sure that Brennan Presley was able to get separation from his defender in man coverage. So let's watch this motion again from Brennan Presley. Okay, see, first of all, he's going to use this motion, and last time, remember, they passed that off. Let's see what Houston's going to pass it off again. And pretty much Alan Bowman knows exactly that's how they're going to play it. So Oklahoma State got the exact matchup they wanted. They got Brennan Presley on the corner right here, and this is, again, that far hash to the far sideline. Alan Bowman, watch out. I mean, he just makes that look so easy. Brennan Presley is just absolutely wide open. Because of that motion, see how the corner is backpedaling and that safety actually is dropping into coverage, and you just hit that pocket right there. Brennan Presley catches the ball, gets upfield, and gets a massive first down in a drive where Oklahoma State desperately needs to take the lead. Moves the chains again. Great motion. I love the fact that Casey Dunn is being very creative and not just getting the ball to Brennan Presley, but finding ways and getting him open. Presley had a career day, 15 catches. What a game for him. Now you look, okay, Oklahoma State, very creative. You have trips to the narrow side of the field. That's called the boundary side. So now you empty out the backfield. You have the trips to the boundary side. So what's coming here? Houston's going to have to be locked up in man coverage across the board. So then you just throw a little slant to Ollie Gordon. What a great creative play. Again, you empty the backfield. You figure out the matchup. I mentioned the motion to get Presley open in the last play. Now you're using, just an empty backfield to get Ollie Gordon, your running back. So right here, okay, so he starts in the backfield. Now you're using motion for him. And now Alan Bowman, look, he's reading right here. Okay, so who is going to cover Ollie Gordon? See, Alan Bowman surveying that and trying to figure out who's going to cover him. Now that he realizes it's going to be on the corner, he knows exactly what play he has in his bag, and he goes right to it. You see Leon Johnson, that's a perfect play. Watch Leon Johnson. Okay, so Alan Bowman gets the exact matchup he wants with Ollie Gordon. Now watch Leon Johnson. See him come inside. That's going to clear this safety. That's going to open up that little slant zone right here for Ollie Gordon. Yes, Oklahoma State got the matchup they wanted. They cleared it perfectly. They used motion to do it. I'm telling you, man, this is one of Casey Dunn's best games that he has ever called at Oklahoma State, and OSU absolutely needed it because, hey, things were not easy at this point. You needed Casey Dunn to be absolutely on point. He was, and Alan Bowman, like I said, other than the one pick six, he is executing. Now, hey, you got to figure out a way to get it into the end zone. Watch Preston Wilson. See that 74 right there? Watch it. Bam. I mean, that is just unbelievable. Let me back that up. Okay, I'm going to show you this again. There's the end of the Ollie Gordon play, if I can get this to run. Okay, watch Preston Wilson right here. 74, watch this. Mack truck all the way into the end zone. That is just ridiculous. Ridiculously awesome right guard play for Preston Wilson, and because of that now, Ollie Gordon gets into the end zone, and the Cowboys, they finally take the lead, and OSU fans everywhere can take a breath of relief. So Oklahoma State has finally taken the lead. They have the momentum. I am texting everybody I know, hey, man, stop the run game. Boy, what a play. I'm going to back this. Actually, I'm going to show you what happened here. Stop the run game, get pressure on Donovan Smith, then feed the rock to Ollie. That's what I am telling everybody that wants to listen to what I have to say at this point. So watch this. I'm going to back this up. See right here, Nick Martin. Guess what he is? He is the spy to Donovan Smith. No doubt about it. He is keeping Donovan Smith from taking off and scrambling. And so he goes from being the spy. Now look, Donovan Smith turns his head. As soon as Donovan Smith turns his head, Nick Martin is still looking at him. Now Nick knows that once Donovan Smith turns his head, he is going to commit to throwing the ball to somebody. That's when Nick Martin starts gaining ground on the play. See how he gains ground right then? So then after he starts gaining ground after Donovan Smith turned his head, now he sees it's going to be a screen to the back. So he has now transitioned from being the spy to the quarterback. He's moved on to the back. Now watch how he finishes the play. My goodness, if there is a better linebacker in the United States of America, I'd like to see him. I'm going to back that up and just watch it in real time here. Watch Nick Martin. He hits a spy. Now he moves on to the running back, and then as he moves on to the running back, watch the closing speed. Watch how he finishes. Wow, because if he doesn't make that tackle, that running back, as I back that up. Now, if Nick Martin does not transition to the running back, look at this hole right here. I mean, there is nobody in the picture right here. You know, maybe right here Kirkland might make the play, but I doubt it. So if Nick Martin does not transition and just uses instincts to run that play down, who knows what happens. Now you pressure Donovan Smith, 3rd and 13, make him run. We talked about it. He gets happy feet. He starts making mistakes. You're not going to get the first down on 3rd and 13. Just tackle him short of the sticks, get the ball back, and feed Ollie to the races. Ollie Gordon 0. Down the near boundary goes 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, almost into the end zone. Ollie Gordon on the GH counter. What a play again. Okay, here's Preston Wilson. Remember on that last possession? Wilson was a mauler, and he just mauled his man all the way into the end zone. Now he's going to be asked to use skill. He's going to be asked to pull, and watch Preston Wilson. This is called a kick wrap. Watch Preston Wilson kick number 12. See right there, kicks number 12. Now watch number 16, Josiah Johnson. He wraps and sets the edge right there. And after they set the edge, off to the races goes Ollie Gordon. 62 yards later, the Cowboys have a first down and goal, trying to take a 2-score lead. Something that you feel really good about if you're Oklahoma State, because if you get a 2-score lead, of course, and then Oklahoma State, if you remember that, they went up to the line of scrimmage and they heard and they tried to run a quarterback sneak for God knows what reason. Okay, more creativity from Casey Dunn, though. Okay, I kind of, I kind of got a little frustrated with the fact that they got a little tricky there, got a penalty. So now instead of being 1st and goal from the half-yard line, now you're back at the 6. Okay, but again, more creativity. Look at this. Both H-backs. That is Josiah Johnson, and that is Braden Cassidy. So, hey, we've seen the GT, we've seen the GH, we've seen the GG. Now you're going to see the H and H. Look at that. Braden Cassidy now is the kick. Josiah Johnson is the wrap, and because of that, Ollie Gordon gets into the end zone. Hey, I'm not sure I have ever seen H counter. Look at that. And then look, okay, see the offensive lineman right here? That is Cole Birmingham. Watch him. Okay, great job of getting Ollie Gordon into the end zone. Cowboys take a 2-score lead. Thank you, Mr. Zero. Thank you, Ollie Gordon. Thank you right here. There's the kick. There's the wrap. 6 points, Cowboys. Oklahoma State is getting ready to boat race this game. Again, get pressure on Donovan Smith. Just do it. Hey, look at there. Nick Martin again. Remember how he blew up that screen to the running back last play? Okay, what's so amazing about this, back this up, this is not a called pressure from Brian Nardo. This is simply instincts. Now I'm assuming, I'm not at practice, obviously, but right here, Nick Martin is the spy again. But once he realizes that, hey, I don't think Donovan Smith's going to take off to the outside one way or the other, he starts gaining ground. And now just instinctually, he chooses both him and Xavier Benson when to fire at Donovan Smith, and because nobody's open backfield, okay, see now here you have Xavier Benson who is there taking so you have one of those double fires again at the same time. So, hey, number 50 right here, he can either take Benson or he can take Nick Martin. So Nick Martin, last time he went from being a spy to chasing down a screenplay. This time he went from being a spy to firing on an instinctual blitz, a delayed blitz, and getting to Donovan Smith. Pressure Donovan Smith, stop the running game. Right here, I felt like OSU was going to run away with this game, especially after he stopped. 3rd and 17, he got him throwing the ball sideways. Kendall Daniels, this is a big boy play. Not many safeties in the United States of America can make this play. This is Kendall Daniels right here. You're going to see 2 pullers, and you're going to see the screen play here. Okay, so right here, you're actually not pullers, but they're going to release on the screen. See the 2 releasers right there? Okay, I'm going to back it out. I actually missed my pause button. Okay, so let's see the two linemen that released right here. So you have a convoy ahead. You actually have a pretty good play going. Xavier Benson is dropping into coverage. Here you have Nick Martin as the spy again. You're hoping maybe Nick Martin can chase this from behind, but he doesn't have to, because watch Kendall Daniels. Watch him split these 2 pullers right here. Okay, see this? Boom, splits it right there. See how he split right in the middle of them? So now not only did he split these 2 pullers, now he is in space, one-on-one. Typically speaking, this is an extremely difficult tackle because you're on a little guy that's very elusive, that's very good at making guys miss. You do have, but see again, look at how OSU has canceled gaps here. You have Xavier Benson, Kendall Daniels, and then you have your other safety. I can't see the number there. Then you have the corner. Then you have Nick Martin inside. So you have a wall of defenders here, and Latu coming from the inside. But you don't need them because watch Kendall Daniels. After he splits those 2 pullers, watch him finish. Wow. That, my friends, is impressive. So right here, Oklahoma State, they are flexing their muscle. They're getting ready to take control of the game. They have a 10-point lead. And then why? I mean, just why? I mean, I hate to be too critical of a young man who came to the university that I love, and that there's nothing there are very few things I love more than Oklahoma State on earth. And so I love anybody who chooses to come and give their blood and guts to this university. So I don't mean to be hyperly critical, but hey, you're getting ready to take over the game, man. Just let them punt the dang ball and get the ball back. This is just a terrible, terrible mistake. There's no other way to put it. I know nobody felt worse than the young man that did it, no doubt about it. So not, like I said, not trying to throw anybody under the bus, not trying to be overcritical, just trying to call it what it is. You're getting ready to take the game over, so just let him punt it. Get the ball somewhere around midfield. There's Nick Martin taking the game over again. Nick Martin, a spy again, gaining ground. Get another hit on Donovan Smith. Let me show you that again. Here, watch this. See Nick Martin gain ground. Boom. Now let me show you exactly why. It's a cumulative. Watch Donovan Smith right here. Okay, watch him duck right there. Okay, so yes, he did complete that pass, but that cumulative factor where you're starting to get into his head, that really plays a factor in how he ends up performing down the stretch. It's an accumulative thing, and what happened here is the receiver actually went out of bounds before he came back in. Just not good spatial awareness by him, so you set up a punt. So see how the receiver right here, you're going to see him, watch his right foot, actually goes out of bounds right there. Went out of bounds, and because of that, he can't be the first person to come back in and touch the ball. And because of that, that is also a loss of down. And now, hey, you did run it. You actually roughed the kicker. You gave the ball back to Houston, but your defense held tight. Again, I'm going to say it again. Boy, there is Nick Martin coming and sacking Donovan Smith again. I'm going to say it again. Coach Nardo figured out how to get pressure on Donovan Smith. He figured out how to stop the run game. He figured out how to shore up the secondary as the game went on. Give Coach Nardo credit. There's another game where the Cowboys, as the defense went on, just figured out the puzzle. So OSU has a 10-point lead. Here's that GH counter again. Ollie Gordon gets up underneath it. A good ankle tackle, if you will. And, you see Ollie Gordon, that ankle tackle from behind. That is painful. No doubt about it. Here you see the trip set again. A good pass to Brennan Presley. Come back inside. Mentioned earlier, that first play and the second play of the first possession went outside. It got stuffed. He's come back inside every time since then. Great adjustment. The drive stalls. You hate this because now it's just a 13-point lead. You like the fact that Alex Hale made the field goal, but you don't like the fact that 2 touchdowns actually wins the game for Houston. So if I do have, one complaint about Mike Gundy in these situations, it just seems like OSU sits on the lead a little bit too much. Oklahoma State squarely left the door open for Houston to come back through. And then again, hey, you've been playing great defense. It just feels like the defense just let up just a touch. And hey, Donovan Smith, when you let up, whenever you have Jenkins and guys like that, the speed that they have at receiver, if you let up just a touch, this is a team that can take advantage of it, and they did. They went right down the field, Houston did. And again, because you couldn't put that last touchdown on the board, instead you kicked a field goal, now it's just 13 points. And now you want to know how valuable Nick Martin is? Watch this, okay? Look who the spy is here, okay? Right here, Xavier Benson is the spy instead of Nick Martin, and look what happens. The one time that Nick Martin's not the spy, Donovan Smith gets out the back door for a long run into the end zone. And, hey, just give – I don't think Nick Martin's actually on the field. Yep, there he is right there. So, you try to change things up. You try to give Texas Tech a different look, okay? But because of that, just Donovan Smith has too much foot speed, and he's able to take advantage of the fact that Oklahoma State just kind of changed some personnel matchups up here, and because of that, he scrambles, he gets into the end zone. Now you're thinking, man, 7.5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. You're down just 6 points. Boy, this would be a terrible way to take control of the game and come back and have Houston actually come back and win this game. So as an Oklahoma State fan, you have to be very, very concerned at this point in the game. Right now, 7.5 minutes to go. Hey, you're only up 6 points. You got to figure out first of all, just get any kind of score. Doesn't have to be a touchdown. You feel like if Oklahoma State could just go down and get a field goal, that you would probably put the game away. And boy, Ollie Gordon put this drive on his shoulders. Let's watch this run game here. Here's Josiah Johnson again. Hey, Josiah Johnson has become a main artery to this offense, the way he blocks. Here comes Cole Birmingham. He's gonna look at, watch this. Okay, Birmingham right here. Watch this. Boom, boom, boom. See that pancake? That is just simply fantastic. I love that. You want to know why Ollie Gordon gets so many yards? Well, look at his left guard pull and come up with the pancake alongside his H-back, Josiah Johnson. Here is Birmingham again. Look at the kick there. And then here, oh boy, that was close. Man, if this right here, okay, so here's where OSU got lucky. If I back this up, if this safety right here, see how he has his eyes on Presley because he's in man coverage. If this safety instead right here turns his eyes to the quarterback and reads the football, Houston most likely has the lead at this point. Oklahoma State caught a huge break. 2nd down and 10. Hey, let's not make the mistake again. Let's just make a nice save play. Throw it to Josiah Johnson, but you're thinking, man, now it's like 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. My gosh, you have to get the first down here. Josiah Johnson goes in motion, and boy, Ollie Gordon, you got a first down. Then Ollie Gordon, he fumbles the ball. Now you're like, oh my goodness, where's the ball? Thank goodness it went right back to Ollie Gordon. So Oklahoma State now regains possession. You're thinking you need 20 yards, or maybe, hey, you can get 2 or 3 first downs and make Houston use all their timeouts. There's Birmingham again coming across and pulling, doing a great job. So OSU, they use so many different people in the pool game. That's why they're such a tough offense to stop. And then here was the game clincher right there, young man, Rashad Owens. We talked about the one-on-one coverages. Hey, if you're going to stack the box, Oklahoma State is going to have to win those one-on-one matchups. Leon Johnson III did it. Jaden Bray did it. Now Rashad Owens puts the game away. Ollie Gordon, hey, man, just kind of making sure you don't fumble, just making sure nothing goes wrong here. And then Ollie Gordon gets down to the 3-yard line. And then here's another puller and get into the end zone right here to seal the game away for the most part. Braden Cassidy, let's watch him. This isn't the play here. This is the play that right before Ollie Gordon got down to the 3, there is Leon Johnson, the 3rd coming across, and then the cutback right here. Ollie Gordon is so good at this cutback. Look at Josiah Johnson. This is a wham block on the inside tackle here. Look how him and Braden Cassidy, both H-backs. Look how they make that block inside to get Ollie Gordon down to the 2-yard line. So you saw the H-backs on that play. Now watch Braden Cassidy on this play. And then here's Josiah Johnson. Watch them both. Okay, so Braden Cassidy right here. He pulls, kick right there, get Ollie Gordon the space that he needs, up into the end zone. Touchdown. Cowboys take the control and probably for good for the day. So Oklahoma State takes the 43-30 lead, and unless something crazy happens, you're probably going to win. Cam Smith put it away. I like the fact that he just went down there. Hey, if you remember earlier in the game, showed you Cam Smith in man coverage, how he got his head turned back around. Going to play that again and get back to the Cam Smith play right here and showed you earlier Cam Smith, he was in man coverage, if I can get back to it. Okay, he was in man coverage earlier, got his head turned, swatted the ball away, great play. Now he's going to be in zone. For a sophomore, these are pretty good instincts. Read the quarterback, break on the football, make the interception, then go down. Game over. Cowboys win 43-30.